morning and Assalamu alaikum. I am Momina Kester from class 6D and today I'm here for presenting my story. The topic of my story is on an adventure trip to an island you find a buried treasure. However, danger also lurks. I and my friends went to an adventure trip to the Dolphin Island. We stayed there for a month when one night while we were out for a walk after dinner, the island felt strange and eerie as the wind pushed its way through the trees. It made peculiar sounds as we were walking by in the dead of night. I suddenly stopped as my blood ran cold. I called out to the others and we stepped behind briskly, shocked to see a piece of beaming golden-colored rock which lay on the sandy surface of the island. It was strange as something was scribbled on it and it was giving out strong light as if it were laser. The sharp and thin strips of light which came out of it seemed as though they would make us blind. We knew there was something dangerous about this rock, and we were determined to get to the root of it. At the start, we thought it was just a dangerous piece of rock, but then one of our friends got sight of a narrow tube attached at its bottom from where it sunk underground. We all collected a few sticks and started poking the rock with them. There was suddenly a deep growling and thundering voice as the land under our feet split apart. A ditch had formed between the crack and some of our friends were on the other side of the ditch. The thing we thought was a rock at the start now raised high and we clearly could see it was a sort of an ancient gem. A few seconds later, we saw an extraordinarily glittering box camouflaged with jewels attached to the gem. It was a medium-sized box, and with some effort, 3 people would be able to carry it easily. We became instantly alert for what was coming up next. Suddenly, the box banged on the ground with a thud and opened up. The peculiar-looking box had a lot of treasure in it. The gold and silver jewels were glistening and shimmering. Light was coming out of the box as in fairy tales. We could not believe what we saw, but at the same time, we were too scared to pay full attention towards that. We, after encountering such an appalling event, wanted to go home as soon as we could. But we had to think of a way to get to our friends on the other side of the ditch. We thought for a moment or two and then started wandering around the crack to the corners, and at the far end we saw a little land which was not apart. We went back to our starting point and picked up the box of jewels and then returned to the corner. I and my friends walked over the land to the other side of the ditch, but when the last of our friends was crossing by, the land began to shake vigorously. We rushed on towards the shores and boarded on our ship as fast as we could. We wanted to get out of there as fast as possible, so we rowed the boat back to our country in the stormy weather. It was hard, but with a lot of effort, we managed it in the end. When we reached our country, we researched about the box of jewels and soon found out that it was buried by pirates in the early centuries. After that encounter, we never went to an adventurous trip again. Ever again. Thank you.